Our data shows that something around a quarter of people are saying they're relying more on reputable brands than they did a year ago. But on the other hand, trust is going down, and people are, to some extent concerned about the levels of misinformation. So for certain types of stories, they now know that they need to really pay attention to it. But for other stories, it matters a little bit less. So it's definitely not the answer, but it's good that people are more literate and they're thinking more carefully about which brands they choose in which situation. One of the things we've found this year is that people feel contradictory things about the media. So they like the brands, but on the other hand, they feel that the media tends to be too negative. 45% of people think that the news media in the UK is too negative. They're concerned about being overloaded with breaking news and that it's not good at explaining the news. And I think these are real lessons that the news media needs to take account of. They need to really start thinking about the specific needs that audiences have and try and serve them better. What we find is that in some countries we've seen a growth in people being prepared to pay for news. And most of that, though, is going to only a few brands. And the majority of people will only pay for one brand. So it's kind of a winner takes all or a winner takes most environment right now. And I don't see that changing. I think this is a real challenge. If you're not one of those top brands, it's going to be really hard to get people to pay unless you have something that's truly distinctive. Platforms are changing significantly. I mean, Facebook announced effectively a whole new strategy, which is not just about the news feed, about groups, and about a more private platform. And I think we're really going to see that play out over the next few years. For consumers' point of view, what we're seeing is this massive growth in WhatsApp pretty much everywhere. So messaging platforms, as people want to communicate in smaller groups where they feel more comfortable. In the global south, that's leading to really significant issues. WhatsApp is used hugely for news. It's a very private place. You can't monitor what's going on. And so there's much more concern about, misinformation and disinformation being spread. Podcasts are growing steadily. But I think what's interesting from this year's report is we've delved more into the motivations about why people are using podcasts and also about why young people in particular are really engaging with it. And it's really about the convenience, the fact you can do it while you're doing other things, being in control. So young people really like to schedule themselves and schedule the things they want, and also diversity. I mean, there's so many podcasts, there's so many different voices, and people are really responding to that.